That's my steak, Valance. I said you, Valance. You pick it up. I said you, Liberty. Try it, Liberty. Just try it.
John Wayne, the Duke, was more than just a Hollywood legend. He was a father, a mentor, and a symbol of American resilience. But what became of his 7 children after the cameras stopped rolling? Some embraced the silver screen, walking in their father's footsteps. Others chose quieter lives, far from the Hollywood spotlight. Their journeys were filled with triumphs, heartbreak, and unexpected turns. From acting careers and legal battles to preserving their father's legacy, each of John Wayne's children carved out their own unique path. But not all found success, and some faded into obscurity. What challenges did they face? Who carried on the Wayne name, and who chose a different destiny? Join us as we uncover the untold stories of John Wayne's children, their lives, their struggles, and the legacy they continue to carry. Few names in Hollywood carry the same weight as John Wayne. For over 5 decades, he defined what it meant to be the ultimate American hero. Whether riding through the dusty trails of the Old West or leading troops into battle on the big screen, Wayne embodied strength, integrity, and rugged individualism. His influence on cinema wasn't just about the roles he played, it was about the ideals he represented. His deep, commanding voice and towering presence made him larger than life, and audiences across generations saw him as more than just an actor. He was a symbol of resilience, a man who stood for justice, courage, and unwavering patriotism. But beyond the silver screen, John Wayne was also a father, a role that came with its own set of challenges. While the world saw him as an unstoppable force, at home, he was a man raising 7 children while balancing the demands of fame. His long hours on set and constant travel made family life difficult, yet he remained deeply devoted to his children. He wasn't just an actor in their eyes, he was Dad. Despite his tough on-screen persona, those closest to him knew a softer side, one filled with warmth and humor. He would often bring his kids to film sets, exposing them to the magic of Hollywood, hoping to share a piece of his world with them. Wayne's family wasn't just an afterthought in his career, they became a part of it. Many of his children made cameo appearances in his films, creating moments of shared history forever captured on celluloid. From small walk-on roles to background scenes, his kids got a front-row seat to the life of a Hollywood icon. It wasn't just about letting them experience filmmaking. It was about connection, about creating memories in the only way a man like John Wayne knew how. Despite the glamour of Hollywood, Wayne understood the weight of his responsibilities as a father. He wanted his children to know discipline, honor, and respect. Values he held dear both on and off the screen. He encouraged them to forge their own paths, but his towering legacy was never easy to escape. Some embraced it, choosing careers in film, while others sought lives far from the spotlight. Regardless of their choices, they all carried with them the lessons learned from their father: the grit, the perseverance, and the unshakable belief in standing tall, no matter the odds. John Wayne was a Hollywood legend, but to his children, he was so much more. His legacy wasn't just in the films he made, but in the family he built. A family that would go on to shape their own stories, each in their own way. The Duke may have ridden off into the sunset, but his influence still echoes through time, not just in Hollywood, but in the lives of those who knew him best. As we dive deeper into the lives of his children, we'll see how his towering presence shaped their futures, for better or for worse. What became of them after his passing? How did they navigate life in the shadow of a legend? Their stories are as fascinating as the man who raised them. Stay with us as we explore the triumphs, struggles, and legacies of John Wayne's children. John Wayne may have been one of the most recognized faces in Hollywood, but behind the scenes, he was a father to 7 children, each carving out their own unique path. Some followed in his footsteps, embracing the world of film and entertainment, while others chose different destinies, stepping away from the limelight. Their journeys were filled with triumphs, struggles, and unexpected turns. The eldest of Wayne's children, Michael Wayne, was more than just the son of a legend. He became a driving force behind preserving his father's cinematic legacy. Born in 1934, Michael developed a keen business acumen, choosing to work behind the scenes rather than in front of the camera. After earning a degree in business, he became instrumental in managing his father's production company, Batjack Productions, overseeing major films like The Alamo. But Michael's impact extended beyond Hollywood. He was dedicated to philanthropy, serving as the chairman of the John Wayne Cancer Foundation, an organization committed to cancer research and treatment. Unfortunately, despite his many successes, his life was cut short in 2003 due to complications from lupus. Yet, his contributions to the film industry and charitable work ensured that his father's legacy lived on. Born in 1936, Mary Antonia, affectionately known as Tony, lived a life that revolved around family rather than Hollywood. While she appeared in small film projects, she found her greatest joy in raising her 8 children alongside her husband, Donald LaCava. Despite her privileged upbringing, Tony lived a relatively private life, choosing the warmth of family over the spotlight. But tragedy struck when she was diagnosed with lung cancer. In 2000, she passed away, leaving behind a large and loving family. While she may not have sought fame, Tony's impact was deeply felt by those closest to her, proving that not all of John Wayne's children needed Hollywood to make their mark. Patrick Wayne was perhaps the most well-known of John Wayne's children in the entertainment industry. Born in 1939, he starred in over 40 films, including 11 alongside his father. His breakthrough came in movies like Sinbad and The Eye of the Tiger and The People That Time Forgot. In an interesting twist of fate, Patrick even screen-tested for the role of Superman, proving his status as a Hollywood leading man. However, he found more success on television, hosting the game show Tic-Tac-Dough, and later dedicating his life to philanthropy, becoming chairman of the John Wayne Cancer Institute. Now retired, Patrick resides in Arizona, carrying on his father's legacy in a quieter way. Unlike her brothers, Melinda Wayne Munoz stayed mostly out of the public eye. Born in 1940, she had brief appearances in film, but found her passion elsewhere. She married Gregory Munoz, raising 5 children before eventually divorcing in 1985. While she may not have sought the bright lights of Hollywood, Melinda remained a devoted family woman, cherishing the values her father instilled in her. She lived a life of love, connection, and quiet strength, proving that being part of a legendary family didn't mean following the same path. Born in 1956, Asa Wayne initially followed the Hollywood route, appearing in McClintock and The Alamo. However, she soon found her true calling outside of the film industry. Instead of pursuing an acting career, she turned her focus to law, becoming an attorney in Los Angeles. Isa's legal career was marked by a strong sense of justice, much like the roles her father played on screen. Over the years, she became involved in legal battles, including disputes over her father's estate. Her shift from Hollywood to the courtroom showed a determination to carve out a name for herself on her own terms. Born in 1962, Ethan Wayne grew up in Newport Beach, California. Sharing his father's love for adventure and the outdoors, he initially entered the film industry as a stunt performer before stepping into acting. He starred in films like The Alamo, 13 Days to Glory, and gained recognition for his role in The Bold and the Beautiful. Beyond acting, Ethan dedicated himself to preserving his father's legacy. He became actively involved in the John Wayne estate, ensuring that his father's name and image remained protected. His commitment to honoring the Wayne legacy has made him a crucial figure in keeping the Duke's spirit alive for future generations. The youngest of the Wayne children, Marisa, was born in 1966, long after her father had cemented his legendary status. Unlike her older siblings, Marisa chose a quiet life, focusing on her family rather than Hollywood. Married to Tony Ditto, she raised 2 children, Carmel and Duke Morrison Ditto, named after her father's real surname. While she never pursued acting, her life reflects the same strong family values that John Wayne held dear. Despite sharing the same legendary father, John Wayne's children each took different paths. Some embraced Hollywood, others pursued careers in law, business, or philanthropy. Some stepped away entirely, preferring the comfort of a quiet life away from fame. Through successes and struggles, they all carried with them a piece of their father's enduring legacy. While the world remembers John Wayne for his films, his greatest production may have been the family he left behind. But what challenges did they face along the way? What struggles shaped their journeys? John Wayne's impact on Hollywood is undeniable. Decades after his passing, his films continue to captivate audiences, and his name remains synonymous with strength, integrity, and American heroism. But his legacy isn't just preserved in film, it lives on through his children, each of whom has played a role in carrying his name forward in their own way. Some stepped into the public eye, embracing his legacy, while others chose a quieter path, forging their own identities away from the shadow of the Duke. Perhaps the most significant way John Wayne's children have honored his legacy is through philanthropy. After his battle with cancer, the Wayne family made it their mission to fight the disease that ultimately took his life. The John Wayne Cancer Foundation was established to fund groundbreaking research, support cancer patients, and promote early detection. Michael Wayne played a critical role in launching the foundation, using his business acumen to expand its reach and influence. After his passing, Patrick Wayne stepped in to continue the work, ensuring that his father's name wasn't just remembered for movies, but for making a real difference in people's lives. Ethan Wayne has also remained actively involved, working tirelessly to protect his father's image and maintain the foundation's mission. Through charity events, fundraisers, and public awareness campaigns, John Wayne's children have turned their father's legacy into a force for good. The foundation has funded numerous cancer research programs, provided support for families facing medical crises, and even developed the John Wayne Cancer Institute, a leading research center dedicated to finding a cure. For the Wayne family, honoring their father isn't just about remembering his films, it's about making a lasting impact, just as he did. While John Wayne's Hollywood career ended with his passing in 1979, his presence has never truly faded. His children, particularly Patrick and Ethan, have worked hard to keep his cinematic legacy alive. From participating in documentaries about their father to attending film festivals and Hollywood events in his honor, they have ensured that future generations continue to recognize his contributions to the entertainment industry. Patrick Wayne, who made a name for himself as an actor, has often spoken about his father's influence on his career. Though he eventually stepped away from acting, he frequently appears at John Wayne tribute events, celebrating his father's work with fans who still revere the legendary star. Ethan Wayne has also played a crucial role in maintaining the John Wayne estate, working to preserve his father's image and likeness in film history. But their involvement goes beyond nostalgia. John Wayne's films are still widely distributed, and his name remains a brand unto itself. From Western collectibles to merchandise and special edition movie releases, the Wayne family has carefully protected and curated his image, ensuring that the Duke is never forgotten. Ethan Wayne has been especially vocal about keeping his father's reputation intact, pushing back against any attempts to misrepresent his legacy in modern culture. Despite their shared heritage, John Wayne's children took very different approaches to life in the spotlight. While some embraced the public eye, others chose to step away from it entirely. Patrick and Ethan Wayne remained closely tied to Hollywood, keeping their father's legacy alive through acting and public appearances. Aisa Wayne, though once an actress, shifted her focus entirely to law, carving out a career in a completely different field. Melinda and Marissa Wayne, on the other hand, opted for a quiet life, avoiding the limelight and choosing to focus on their families instead. For some, being John Wayne's child was both a privilege and a challenge. Living in the shadow of a man so deeply ingrained in American culture meant constant comparisons, and for those who didn't pursue acting, it often felt like an expectation they had to escape. Michael Wayne, despite working in Hollywood, found more fulfillment behind the scenes as a producer and businessman. Toni Wayne, who had no interest in fame, dedicated herself to raising her 8 children, a path far removed from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. Even those who did follow in their father's footsteps, like Patrick Wayne, eventually found themselves drawn to a quieter life, away from the relentless demands of the film industry. Though they took different paths, there's one thing all of John Wayne's children share: a deep respect for their father's legacy. Whether through philanthropy, Hollywood preservation, or simply living their lives with the values he instilled in them, they continue to reflect his spirit in their own ways. Being the child of a Hollywood legend may seem like a privilege, but for John Wayne's children, it also came with immense challenges. Their lives were marked not only by the weight of their father's legacy, but by legal battles, personal struggles, and the difficulty of forging their own identities in a world that constantly compared them to the Duke. One of the most significant hurdles they faced was in the courtroom. As one of the most recognizable names in American cinema, John Wayne's legacy became a battleground for trademark disputes and estate conflicts. Aisa Wayne, who pursued a career in law, found herself directly involved in lawsuits concerning her father's estate, defending the rights to his name and image. The family fought hard to protect the John Wayne brand from unauthorized commercial use, and one of the most high-profile disputes involved a legal fight with Duke University. The university claimed the Wayne family's attempt to use Duke for a whiskey brand infringed on their trademark, but the family argued that John Wayne had been known as the Duke long before the institution sought to control the name. It was one of many battles they had to fight to ensure their father's legacy remained under their control. Beyond legal conflicts, the Wayne family endured deep personal hardships. Michael Wayne, who had dedicated much of his life to preserving his father's legacy, faced serious health issues. Diagnosed with lupus, his condition worsened over the years, leading to his passing in 2003. His death was not just a personal loss to the family, but a blow to the efforts to continue the Duke's work in Hollywood and philanthropy. Toni Wayne also faced her own health battles, eventually succumbing to lung cancer in 2000. Though she had stayed out of the public eye for most of her life, her loss deeply affected those closest to her. For others, the challenge wasn't just personal. It was the burden of expectation. Patrick Wayne, despite a successful acting career, often spoke about the pressure of being compared to his father. While he starred in major films and even screen-tested for the role of Superman, he ultimately distanced himself from Hollywood, choosing a quieter life away from the pressures of the industry. his decision mirrored those of some of his siblings, who struggled with the weight of their father's reputation and sought lives beyond the entertainment world. Many of John Wayne's children ultimately chose to step away from Hollywood entirely. Asa Wayne, though she had early acting roles, decided that a career in law would allow her to establish her own identity, one not defined by the name she inherited. Melinda and Marisa Wayne, the more private members of the family, lived quiet lives, preferring to focus on family rather than fame. Even those who initially pursued acting, like Ethan Wayne, found themselves drawn away from the spotlight, instead dedicating their time to managing their father's estate and ensuring his image was protected. For some, distancing themselves from Hollywood was an act of self-preservation. Being John Wayne's child meant constant scrutiny, comparisons, and expectations that could be impossible to escape. While the world saw the Duke as a symbol of strength and heroism, his children had to navigate a far more complex reality. Some fought to uphold his name in court, others battled their own personal demons, and many simply chose to live a life outside of Hollywood's reach. But whether they embraced the Wayne name or stepped away from it, the influence of their father never truly left them. Even decades after John Wayne's passing, his presence remains firmly embedded in American culture. His films continue to be celebrated, his image is still synonymous with the idealized cowboy hero, and his legacy is carefully preserved by his family. Over the years, the Wayne children have stepped into the spotlight on various occasions to share their personal memories, defend their father's legacy, and offer their own perspectives on what it means to carry the name of the Duke. Through documentaries, interviews, and televised tributes, they have painted a more personal picture of John Wayne, the man behind the Hollywood legend. Patrick, Ethan, and Asa Wayne have all appeared in multiple interviews, speaking about their father's values, his work ethic, and the kind of parent he was beyond the cameras. Whether sharing anecdotes about growing up with a larger-than-life father or addressing misconceptions about his career and personal beliefs, they have played a vital role in shaping the way the public remembers him. The Wayne name has also been highlighted in numerous retrospectives, with the family frequently attending Hollywood events honoring John Wayne's contributions to cinema. From red carpet ceremonies to special screenings of his films, his children continue to be the face of his lasting impact. But with every legendary Hollywood family comes comparison. The Wayne children are often discussed alongside other iconic film dynasties: the Eastwoods, the Fondas, and the Douglases, all families where the children of a major star had to find their own place in the entertainment industry. Clint Eastwood's children, much like Wayne's, had to decide whether to follow in their father's footsteps or forge their own path. Some of them became actors, others found their passion behind the scenes, and a few chose to step away entirely, similar to the decisions made by the Wayne family. The Fondas, another well-known Hollywood dynasty, had a slightly different dynamic, as both Peter and Jane Fonda successfully built their own legendary careers independent of their father, Henry Fonda. The Wayne children, however, were often viewed as being more deeply connected to their father's legacy, with much of their public presence being tied to preserving his image rather than creating a separate Hollywood identity. For those who did pursue entertainment careers, their individual legacies have been mixed. Patrick Wayne had the most success, taking on lead roles in adventure films and even stepping into the world of television as a game show host. His performance in Sinbad and The Eye of the Tiger remains one of his most notable achievements, a film that solidified him as a leading man in his own right. However, despite his many roles, he was never able to fully escape the comparison to his father. While respected, he never reached the same level of stardom and eventually stepped back from the industry. Ethan Wayne took a different approach, dedicating himself to maintaining his father's image, rather than pursuing an extensive acting career. Though he had roles in television and film, including appearances in The Alamo, 13 Days to Glory, and The Bold and the Beautiful, his most enduring work has been in managing the John Wayne estate. Through licensing deals, museum exhibitions, and legal battles to protect his father's name, Ethan has worked tirelessly to ensure that John Wayne's legacy remains intact. His role has been crucial in keeping the Duke's memory alive in a modern era where public opinion can shift rapidly. While some of the Wayne children faded into private life, their father's name continues to carry weight in pop culture. His films are still widely broadcast, his quotes are referenced in everything from politics to television, and his image is regularly used to represent a bygone era of cinema. Whether through film festivals, interviews, or carefully curated merchandise, the Wayne family has ensured that John Wayne remains not just a historical figure, but a lasting symbol of American cinema. The impact of the Duke may have been greatest during his lifetime, but through the work of his children, his presence endures for generations to come. Decades after John Wayne's passing, his children have each settled into their own lives, far removed from the Hollywood spotlight that once surrounded them. Some remain deeply involved in preserving his legacy, while others have chosen a quieter existence. Yet, no matter where life has taken them, they all continue to carry the weight of the Duke's name in one way or another. Patrick Wayne, once a recognizable actor in his own right, has since retired from public life. Now living in Arizona, he enjoys a peaceful existence away from the pressures of Hollywood. Though he occasionally makes appearances at events celebrating his father's legacy, he prefers to live outside the constant gaze of the entertainment industry. Having spent much of his career balancing his own acting ambitions with the expectations that came with being John Wayne's son, he ultimately chose a path of privacy, reflecting the decision many of his siblings made. Ethan Wayne has taken on a different role, stepping into the position of guardian over his father's estate. He manages the John Wayne estate, overseeing everything from film preservation to legal matters involving his father's image. His work ensures that John Wayne remains a revered figure in American culture, protecting his name from misrepresentation and ensuring his films and memorabilia continue to be honored properly. As one of the more publicly active members of the family, Ethan has dedicated much of his life to making sure his father's legacy is not just remembered, but actively celebrated. Asa Wayne, who once dabbled in acting, has long since left Hollywood behind. Her career in law has allowed her to build a name for herself, separate from her father's legacy. Though she has spoken about her experiences as John Wayne's daughter in interviews and documentaries, she has largely distanced herself from the public spotlight. Her work as an attorney has become her primary focus, allowing her to carve out a professional identity far removed from the world of film and celebrity. Marissa Wayne has chosen an even quieter life, focusing primarily on family. Unlike some of her older siblings, she never pursued an acting career or engaged in the entertainment industry. Instead, she has embraced a private life, raising her children and ensuring the next generation of Waynes carries on the values that were instilled in them. With the original Wayne children now older, the question remains, what will happen to John Wayne's legacy in the years to come? Will the next generation continue to honor his name? So far, few of his grandchildren have shown an interest in stepping into Hollywood, and none have pursued careers in film that rival their grandfather's legendary status. But that doesn't mean his legacy is fading. His image is still as strong as ever, with new generations discovering his films and fans continuing to celebrate his contributions to American cinema. Exhibits dedicated to his career, special screenings of his most famous works, and memorabilia collections keep his memory alive. And while his children may not all be in the public eye, they have each played a part in ensuring the Duke is never forgotten. John Wayne's final resting place at Pacific View Memorial Park in California remains a site of pilgrimage for fans from around the world. Decades after his passing, admirers still visit his grave to pay tribute, a testament to the lasting impact he had on audiences across generations. His tombstone bears a simple yet powerful inscription, a reflection of the man he was both on and off the screen. His legacy is not just in the films he made, but in the principles he stood for, the values he passed down to his children, and the indelible mark he left on Hollywood history. While the Wayne family may not all live in the public eye, their father's influence continues to shape their lives. Whether through preserving his estate, honoring his memory in small personal ways, or simply living by the values he instilled in them, they remain connected to the man who defined American cinema. The era of John Wayne may have ended, but his name, his work, and his legacy will live on for generations to come. John Wayne's children each took their own path. Some embraced Hollywood, others walked away, and a few dedicated themselves to preserving their father's legacy. Whether through film, philanthropy, or private lives away from the spotlight, they all carried a piece of the Duke with them. His name, his influence, and his values shaped them in different ways, proving that a legacy isn't just about fame, it's about the impact left behind. From legal battles to personal struggles, from honoring their father's name to forging their own identities, the Wayne family's journey has been filled with triumphs and challenges. But one thing is certain: John Wayne's influence didn't end with him. It continues to live on through his children and the generations that follow. What are your thoughts on the Wayne family's journey? Did they carry on their father's legacy the way you expected? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this look behind the scenes of Hollywood history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.